Zuckerberg wrote in part that, quote, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our team for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire, and expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. The censorship allegedly happened in 2021 when millions of Americans were still considering vaccines and when erroneous theories, but also some valid skepticism, were spreading like wildfire on social media. A time when many people were stuck at home thanks to government-imposed lockdowns, relying on platforms like Facebook for their news about COVID. It all led to this stark accusation from President Biden.
COVID misinformation. On COVID misinformation. What's your message to platforms like Facebook?
They're killing people. I mean, look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated. And they're killing people.
In a statement to NewsNation, the White House responded to Zuckerberg's letter by saying, quote, when confronted with a deadly pandemic, this administration encouraged responsible actions to protect public health and safety. Our position has been clear and consistent. We believe tech companies and other private actors should take into account the effects their actions have on the American people while making independent choices about the information they present. All right, there's the S word. Safety. Remember, that's the typical justification for government overreach. And while it's encouraging to know that a tech overlord has had a road to Damascus moment regarding free speech, it's worth noting he expressed a very different opinion to Congress 4 years ago.
I believe strongly in free expression, but I do think that, like all equities, it is balanced against other equities like safety and privacy. And even the people who believe in the strongest possible interpretation of the First Amendment still believe that there should be some limits on speech when it could cause imminent risk of physical harm.
All right, I want to bring in senior NewsNation and national correspondent Laura Ingle. Laura, Zuckerberg also said that he bowed to pressure over posts about Hunter Biden's laptop that under pressure from the FBI that was then under the Trump administration.
That's right. And this is so interesting, right? Mark Zuckerberg says he has several regrets about some of the decisions that he made during the height of the pandemic and about how his team decided to curtail the news on the Hunter Biden laptop scandal, though their social media platforms after what he called government pressure all the way from the top. In his letter to House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan, a Republican, Mark Zuckerberg also acknowledged that Meta, which also owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Threads, was wrong in suppressing a 2020 New York Post story about Hunter Biden's laptop. And what Zuckerberg called a separate situation from the COVID-19 censorship that he admitted to, he says the FBI, which, as you noted, which was under the Trump administration at the time, warned Meta about a potential Russian disinformation operation about the Biden family and Burisma in the lead up to the 2020 election, admitting that they temporarily demoted the story while waiting for fact checkers to go through it. Zuckerberg writing in part, it has since been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation, and in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story. We've changed our policies and processes to make sure this doesn't happen again. Now, House Judiciary Republicans say Zuckerberg's letter is a big win for free speech as we inch closer to another election. And we all remember that the former president was very vocal during the 2020 election cycle, claiming the election was rigged. And former President Trump taking to his Truth Social this morning, posting this. Zuckerberg admits that the White House pushed to suppress Hunter Biden laptop story and much more. In other words, the 2020 presidential election was rigged. Fox News, New York Post, Representative Laurel Lee, House Judiciary Committee, he tags them all. Zuckerberg's letter to Jordan marks the first time that Meta has weighed in publicly on the lawsuit, brought by the Republican attorneys general, which alleges that the Biden administration's pressure on the company and other tech giants to crack down on COVID-19 misinformation was illegal censorship. The Supreme Court had rejected the case and ruled in favor of the Biden administration, but a stunning letter that is public now that we're all reading.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.